Sorry guys, sorry for the delay. Uh, previous session got delayed up. Okay. So, good morning to all of you. And hello, this is Anchit, and I will be your mentor for this boot camp. And that's it. Before I start off, I want to specify few things. One is consider this sessions to be not to be instructor led sessions where the instructor comes in and he has a set of things that he has to cover and he discusses those. Rather, make these sessions more interactive. Consider myself, not consider even myself too, is a peer to you guys. So what you can do, you can do. Be very sure that I won't be judging you, else no one will be judging anyone. Okay. So please, if you have anything, if you have any doubt, if you want to ask anything, it could be as silliest as it could be. Just unmute yourself and ask. Use the chat box if that is not possible. Just ask. Okay. That is the first thing. Okay. And it's okay. It's okay to interrupt me whenever I am talking or coding, but just that there should be a limit to it. Please do not make it something like, yes, you are interrupting me again and again. Okay. Else, it's fine. Why am I saying this? Is because if you do not ask anything and if it is piling up, then it won't be a fruitful session. So, yes. And next thing that I want to ask is that if anyone right now over here is like doing the Mat 2 project along with the Mat 2 theory course, like if anyone haven't done the Mat 2 theory course, please raise your hand. If no one raises, I would consider everyone is done with their Mat 2 theory course. Okay, that's good to see. Else, still, I would just, for the sake of completion, I would just say that if anyone is doing the Mat 2 theory course this time with the project, please complete a finish of till week 8 as early as you could so that you can start off with the project. So most of the concepts are or will be covered by week 8. So yeah, as early as you could. Next thing is let's discuss more about this, like more regarding the structure of the boot camp and stuff. So as you all know, this is a 14-day boot camp, but we won't be coding or we won't be having sessions for all 14 days. Rather, it will be more likely we'll be coding for 5 to 6 days. Okay, at max. I'm usually please guide the reference to Windows manually even if you have. Okay, we can do that. Next thing is even okay, that's fine. What I was saying is, uh, so we'll be coding for 5 or 6 days, right? And how I can like you can consider the schedule to be day starting from day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. Okay, 6 days as of now. I'm planning. Today is day 0. Today we'll be like discussing the problem statement, and as per the time permits, we'll be seeing a very basic Mat 1 app. Okay. Next thing, day 1, day 2 will be back end. Day 3, day 4 will be front end, and day 5 will be back end job and cast. Okay. So this is how I have planned. And if we require any more day, we can like use it because we are having 14 days, so we can like break it up into a number of days. But as I'm saying that at max we'll be breaking up into 7 days. Okay. Next thing is yeah. Like unmute and go ahead. No worries.
Oh, hi. Thank you. Just wanted to check, is there a timetable available for these 5 to 6 days already?
Yeah. A timetable. will be made available to you, but as of now, I want to discuss something more. That is the timing of the sessions. As you all know, that it's from 10. But what am I saying is that if we go early, like if we start from 8 or 9, it's like the timing is not fixed. If everyone is okay with it, I can like shift it to any other time. And I would prefer for a 8 a.m. session or else a 9 a.m. session. That is because as early as we could be done with the session, we are having the rest of the day to us so that we can work on the other stuff. Considering you all have like requested for a 10 to 12 session, so most of the people over here are students, or at least internal. Mm. That way, it's like not in the mid schedule for the day, right? So it's like using up our
Yeah, that's all right.
total bond.
Anchit, I had a question. So, will we be recording all the sessions?
Yes, right now even this session is also being recorded. One more, yeah, the right thing you are asking is that the recordings will be shared to you in a YouTube playlist. Playlist will be updated each day. It might take some time for me to update it, so please do not be worried about the recordings. Will be like you will be getting each day's recording that YouTube playlist. I'll be sharing the link to the playlist in the G Schools.
Okay, thanks.
Also, one more thing. Do not be something like or someone be like, yeah, I will be getting the recording, so let's not join the session. Please come to the session. It's like whenever there is many people, there are many doubts, and everything will be covered through those doubts too. So it's an good option to select for. You can keep the recordings as a secondary thing so that you can like use the recordings to uh, revisit the day. Even I will be like maintaining a GitHub repository, and by that I'll be sharing each day's code. You can like use that to you can like use that to what interact with it. Achha. There was something more that I was going to say. क्या बोलेगा? Anyways, I forgot. Uh, so there is one more thing that I would ask. Everyone is registered for the Mad2 project this term, right? Registered as in like, registered, not something like yeah, I'll be doing the project in the next later term, but I'm doing the boot camp right now. Okay. But, so, yes. Okay, so as you all know that we are having two problem statements with us for this term. That one is parking app, another one is household app. No, not household, the quiz app. Quiz app. So you can choose for any and start off with your start working with your app. If anyone considering this is the middle of the term, if anyone haven't started working on their project, please start as early as you could, right? And select any prop statement. Both are fine. We'll be discussing majorly on a single prop statement, and then like consider it to be the same replica as the other one, because at least for the basic principles, be it the number of users, be it the basic operations, those are same for both the cloud statements. Just that the working principle might be a bit different. Okay, and you can check that out. Today I'm starting off with the parking app, and we'll be going through it. So considering my screen is visible to you guys, starting off with the vehicle parking app V2, that's format 2. So you can see that it's a multi-user app, and in this app or in the quiz app, both the app are having two kind of user. One is the admin, that's super user, and another one is the normal or general users, right? So you have to, like, it's already been said in the Mad One project, and considering you all have done the Mad One projects, so it's like you have to implement RBAC, and even authentication is also needed for Mac. So that's a must, as it's a multi-user app. So before you start off working on a project, it's the best thing, or what I see, or what I feel like. It's a personal opinion. But before you do anything or design anything, at least the basic CRUD operations are okay, but it's good whenever you are like, okay, that you are almost in the midway of your backend uh, workload, that yes, a stage where I can say that yes, I have made the foundation for my backend. At that time, please implement the RBAC, then proceed for the rest of the part, so that it would be like, I won't say only easy, but it's like the best thing that to be done. Like we can see that now, but as of now, it's like a good thing. Like, do not keep it holding for the end of the backend part. But yes, I will be implementing security and RPs. That's a suggestion. Now, what am I saying is that there are specified list of frameworks that you have to mandatorily follow. Any other thing, any other micro framework, any other library, that's totally up to you. They are not, you are free to go ahead with, but these frameworks are needed to be maintained. That is, you cannot do something like, yeah, I will be building my backend on fast API or something. That's not allowed. You have to use fast. Right? Same goes for the front end. You have to use Vue.js, and normal JS is also fine. JavaScript is also fine. Just that you have to, at least for the UIs, you have to use Vue.js. Then there's Jinja 2. Jinja 2 is not allowed for your UI, but rather what you can consider is Jinja 2 is allowed for templating. Okay, you can see. You check that out whenever we'll be like going for the scheduled jobs. Then there's Bootstrap for HTML generation and styling. You can use normal CSS and stuff, and they are very lenient on styling, so you do not need to worry about that. If you want to use anything else, I'm not saying that you have to use, or you would prefer to use, but it's totally up to it, totally a choice that you want to make. Okay, so at least for the styling part, I'm not saying anything. And there's the database. For database, you have to manually use SQLite. You cannot go for Postgres or MongoDB or anything else. That's not allowed. So SQLite it is. And for caching, you have to use, like, you really have to use Redis. Without Redis too, by using simple cache, it can be done, but it is doable. But you are, like, as per this prompt statement, you have to use Redis for caching. And for, and the same is for the scheduled jobs. You have to use Celery and Redis both for uh, the backend jobs or the batch jobs, not the serial jobs. There's one more thing that I want to specify over here is that if you see bullet point 2 and 3, that is Vue.js for UI and Vue.js Advanced with CLI. Only if required, not necessary. What are they saying? They're saying that you just need to use Vue.js for your UI. Okay. That is either you can use CDN or else the CLI. Okay. But what I would recommend is that go for CLI. It's much more feature rich. It's easier to interact with. It's easier to debug, and it's more structured, right? And if you haven't started off your front end, it would be like you can like if you are using any CLI in that case, it's like it would give you a sample project and you can build on top of it. So you are having that structure with you. So yeah. Now here's the thing. There is one more thing. What am I saying is that you can do a Google search. There's something as Vue CLI and Vue CLI. What is that? What am I saying? Have I gone mad? That is, again, I didn't speak anything wrong. That is two different things. Vue CLI is a package, okay, or a platform that you can use. Another thing, Vue CLI as in Vue CDN CLI. Okay. If you are aware what is CDN, what is that? In a similar idea, there's Vue CLI, okay, CLI option. Vue CLI do not they are not specifying that you specifically use Vue CLI platform. Rather, you can use anything, white or anything. But what are they trying to say is that if you want, you can go for Vue CLI. That is not the platform, but the structure, project structure. Please be clear about that. Also, I'll be showcasing both white and Vue CLI, like the platforms. You can go for anything. And at least for this bootcamp, I will be preferring Vue CLI, not Vue CDN. Okay. Again, next thing is that in this note statement, please be aware all demos will be possible on your local system. Basically, how you are developing, it's up to you. There's no hard and fast requirement. Previously, there was a requirement that yes, if you are on Linux, that is fine. If you are on Mac, that is fine. But if you are on Windows, in that case, you have to use that. They have removed it, but as of now, you can bit it away. But again, at least for the bootcamp, I is sticking to WSL. Basically, in Windows machine and like we use a Linux environment in the Windows
Your
machine. So
voice is not clear.
hello, hello, hello. Is
Yeah,
it
your
okay
voice.
now?
Yeah, better. I think you
Yeah.
moved away from the mic. Yeah.
It might be. Okay, so what I'm saying is that yeah, previously there was an requirement that if you are on Windows, you have to stick to WSL. They have removed that criteria. And, but still, that is for the bootcamp, I will be using WSL. Basically, I will be staying in a Linux environment from Windows. Okay. Now you may say that why? Like, why can't we be in a Windows environment? Yes, you can be. Just that there are like previously, like 2 or 3 years back, there were some conditions where the libraries were not much compatible with Windows, and they used to give you some bugs, okay, some minor silly bugs, and that is being optimized and handled as of now. So at least for the front end and back end, you won't be expecting any bug. Rather, for whenever you are going for salary and stuff, you might see some, but you can like it can be handled. So no need to worry. You can be on any platform. As but I'll be sticking to Linux. Okay, you can go for anything. That's fine. And even you can do one thing. You can like break it up into parts. For example, if I am building my front end and back end on Windows and the backend jobs on Linux, Linux, that is WS, that is also possible. We'll be checking those out as of now. And what am I saying? It's however you build uh, your app, you should be aware how it is working, and it should be nothing like, yeah, I came for the Viva and I'm not sure how to wrap it. It shouldn't be the case, right? Also, there's one more thing, and this is totally unofficial. Again, I'm recording it, but still, it's totally unofficial that what am I going to say in the next 1 minute. That is for 30 seconds. That is, if you like, as of now, like, spending today, it's like it's aware to all of us that yes, people will use or will take AI help to build their project, but it shouldn't be something like you are building the total project with the AI agents. Right? It shouldn't do it because you will be examined in the Viva in both the Vivas. Okay, so they will like they will find out if you have done it something like that. It's best if you like if you build it manually, like all by yourself. It's okay to take UI like AI help at least for the repetitive work. For example, you are debugging an error. No, that's not an repetitive work, but considering an like I'm giving an example. That is, if you are getting an error, you have tried, you have been to Stack Overflow and other websites, you have been to GitHub, but you can find a resolution, like quick resolution. So you can use it. That is possible. That is fine. You can ask to me too. But what am I saying? Do not solely depend on AI. Then here comes the rules for your app. At least for like it's the same for both the apps. That is the parking app and the quiz app. That is one is admin, another one is the user, as we have said. Next thing is admin is a super user. There can be only one admin for your app. Like at a time, there will be one app. Next thing, admin cannot be registered from the registration page. So what you have to do whenever you are building your app or whenever you are initializing your app for the first time, it should be like the admin credentials should be added automatically. Okay, we'll be doing it and you can do it in the same way. That is the same idea. Then says that admin can create a new parking lot. Each parking lot can have any number of parking spots. Each parking lot can have a different price. Parking like admin can view the status of all parking spots on his or her dashboard on their dashboard. Admin can edit, delete number of parking lots. That is, admin can increase or decrease the number of parking spots inside a lot. And here's the thing: the crowd of it. You have to handle it very carefully when you are building those. There should be n number of validations that you should add whenever you are building the CRUD operations. I may or may not add all kind of validations whenever I will be coding. Rather, you should be aware that however the problem statement states, whatever validations they need, you have to add those into your APIs, at least for your backend logics. However you want to implement it. So what this problem statement says. This problem statement is talking about building a parking management app. What's that? I'm expecting you all have seen parking lots, like be it a mall parking lot, be it a normal roadside parking lot, or anything. Okay. What is that? Is like facilitating the public where they can park their car. Okay. And we are building a management app for it so that the parking lots could be managed digitally. Right? Even managed and to facilitate the public with getting a parking spots online. Right? Online or at least from the phone or something, however you want to say it. So for the admin's perspective, what is he doing? Or how can he what could be done? For example, you are starting out of your business and you have to cover like you have built this app by yourself, for example. Now, whenever you're starting off your business, it cannot be like something like you already have the parking lot. or it could be a criteria. In that case, if you want to digitize it, what you have to do, you have to add it on the platform. So for that, you need the CRUD operations. Same thing could be done. What is a CRUD or what is CRUD? That is create, update, read, delete, right? So create, read, update, delete. CRUD. Now, what that does? CRUD op, for example, there could be two things in here as per the prompt statement. One is parking lot, another one is parking spot. What is a parking lot? That is the collection of the parking spots. Right? Now, CRUD operation on parking lot. What could be done? That is creating a new parking lot, updating that parking lot, reading that parking lot, like reading the details about the parking lot, a or many parking lot, and finally to delete a parking lot. Okay. Here's the thing. Every operation, all the four operations is only allowed to add. Right? Now consider the thing. What is a parking spot? Parking spot is a spot in a specific parking lot. Okay. There can be a number of parking spots. Now the thing is that there are some validations that I want to specify. That is, whenever you are creating a parking lot, you can like check those out from like scroll down a bit, then I can discuss those. Next thing is the next type of user is a normal user. Okay. The uh, actions that are available to the user is to log in, register, change the available parking lot, book a parking spot, choose a available parking lot, book a spot, and release a vacated. Then there are the terminologies: user, admin, parking lot, parking spot, reserved parking spot, and stuff. Now, what I'm saying is that we'll be coming to that analysis or validations in a bit. I'm not skipping those. But as of now, you can see that there are slow as in pace it slow. Like, is this fine? Okay, give me some time. I will slow myself down. So there are assets. Okay, slow as in that. I was talking something there, right? And what am I saying now is that I will be discussing those in a moment. As of now, let me go to the core functionalities or core operations. Okay. That is what I'm saying, and I skip those parts as well. So it would be something like you didn't get what I'm trying to say, and even that is because I haven't saved those. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes to really reach you there. So let me give it one more try. So as of now, our app is having kind of roles for user. One is a general role that is user, another one is admin. Next thing, there are the terminologies. There are user, admin, parking lot, parking spot, reserves parking spot. 5 terminologies that you should be aware of, at least for building your app. There's parking lot, parking spot. I was discussing that. Parking lot is a space where you can park n number of cars, and there are n number of spots in a parking lot. Each spot can accommodate 1 car at a time. Next thing is that over here, they have provided you with some columns for each kind of table. Here consider it 3 tables. One is parking lot table, parking spot table, and reserved parking spot. Now here's the thing that it's like up to you if you want to use those tables, use these 3 tables, Even if you are using these three tables, if you want to use those columns, it's up to you. You can change it, you can modify it, uh, like you can like do something like it's totally up to you. Like you build it from scratch, that's fine. It's just it is given just for your like, as an idea to you. Okay. Next thing is the operations and even the wire. You are not required to build the app same as the wire thing. You can like use your own styling, own stuff, own idea, own logic. Totally up to you. It's your app. You can build it as per your preference. Coming to the core functionalities, admin login, user login. So what it is required is that login and register is allowed for the normal user. Okay. And only login is allowed for admin. Admin cannot register themselves. Okay. So what you can do is that on the registration page, as this is a multi-user page, so for each user we'll be allocating our role, right? What am I saying? Whenever you are building the registration page, you allocate a single or default it to a single kind of a user role. Then it says the application should have only one admin identified by his role. There could be one admin at a time. Then it is specifying that you can either use Flash Security or JWT based token. Okay. If you are using Flash Security, then you're getting another option that you can choose from. That is whether you can use session based storage, session based security, or token based security. It's up to you, whatever you want to use. At least for the bootcamp, I would be preferring, I will be sticking to Flash Security, and from Flash Security, I will be using token. If you want to use system, that is fine. If you want to use JWT based authentication, in that case, I would ask you to stick to Flask JWT extended library, right? To implement role based access control and authentication, whatever that is, like not whatever, but authentication and RPS. Then app must have a suitable model to store and save between all type of users. Yeah. If you implement any of those libraries, that will be handled and you have to handle it or else it won't work. So that's admin login and user login. Achha. One more thing that I forgot to specify, that is whatever core functionalities, there are 5 or 6 five core functionalities that you have to build and you cannot like skip any. Achha, I won't say skip any, but you can skip, but it is not preferred if you want a full marks. So I would say that please build all the core functionalities, all the 5 core functionalities. Achha. This is the point where I was talking something over there, and as someone mentioned that they didn't get it. That is because I was a bit cloudy over there. Okay. Over here, I can like clear those up. That is admin dashboard, and that's for user. What are the requirements? The first bullet point says admin should be added whenever a new database is created. So whenever you are initializing your app for the first time or booting up your app for the first time, you should add the admin at that point of time. Okay. Next thing is admin creates, edits, deletes a parking lot. Okay. Delete only if all spots are available. Here comes the CRUD operations that I was talking about. So what are CRUD operations that I told? Create, update, delete. Okay. Then it is like CRUD operations on a parking lot. Think of it in this way. There is a parking lot. Okay. And in that parking lot, there are multiple parking spots. Okay. Now, CRUD operation on a parking lot and on a parking spot should be different. Okay. And how it goes is like, I'm not going through the bullet points. Rather, what am I saying is that you can consider it to be a basic overview. That is, let's reading the parking lot. That is normal. That is doable, right? What you have to do, you just need to get all the details. Next comes the create wala part. If you want to create a parking lot, what are the details? It is up to you what details you require. But few details, that is, for example, if you are creating a parking lot, there should be an address. Okay, there should be, like, in whenever you are creating a parking lot, you have to specify the number of parking spots that parking lot have. For example, I'm creating a parking lot at what, at Taramani, that is ITM, near ITM campus. Okay, over there, how would I build it? Is that I can name it, like I can give a name to that parking spot, parking lot. I need to specify the address. I might give it something like Taramani, Chennai, near IT Madras. Okay. Next thing, I will be specifying the number of cars that I can accommodate in that parking spot. For example, I can accommodate 10 cars. So I would specify over there whenever I am creating that parking lot into my app that I can accommodate 10 cars over here. Okay. That's the core, like that's the create operation. And here's the thing. The same create all option is available for parking lot, right? As I was talking about, the CRUD operation is also available for parking spot. But here's the thing. If you go through the problem statement, or at least if you go through this second point, it is said somewhere over here that admin cannot add each parking spot individually. So what are they specifying? That create option is not available for parking spot. Okay. So what or how it will be done? As I was saying that I'm creating a parking lot at Taramani and I'm specifying that there are 10 parking spots. So the parking spots will be created at the same time the parking lot are created. You do not have to manually go and create each 10. Rather, you can use a loop or something to create the parking spots within that lot. Okay. For example, I'll be using, like, considering I'm using integers to be the primary key or the ID for each parking lot, and the ID for that specific parking lot is 5. Okay. So what am I saying? Whenever the fifth parking lot is getting created, ID 5 parking lot is getting created, I would be creating the parking spots for that specific parking lot, and it will be auto done. Okay. From the front end side, get my idea. What am I trying, or what am I trying to convey it to you? That is, consider the scenario, or imagine, just close your eyes and imagine from the front end side, what details will you be sharing? That is up to you. That could be name, address, and there should be number of parking spots. Okay. It cannot be negative, it cannot be zero, and the maximum you can decide. Okay. Now, in that range, you will be specifying a number. For example, the one that I was taking, that is, I create or I select 10 or write 10 over there. From the front end, it will be saved to the backend. Backend will be updating the database that yes, a new parking slot is being created. Here's the name, here's the address, and after that, it will see that the number of parking spots, okay, that is 10. It will update it in the database or in that specific parking lot wala table. Then what will it do? It will go ahead and create individual parking spots. Okay, you do not have to do it manually. Rather, each spot will be created automatically. Okay, in that parking spot wala table. If you consider this example, what are they saying? They are saying that there is parking spot wala table, and for each parking spot there will be a specific ID. Then there is the lot ID that I was talking about. For example, I am creating the parking lot ID 5. So it will be having the spots, right? So for that 10 spots, the ID, parking lot ID would be 5. Okay. So it will be auto generated. I specified that there are 10 spots. So you can use a for loop or something. For example, if you are using a for loop, what you could do, you can like basically create or define a SQL alchemy statement over there that you're creating some newer fields in that database table, right? For 10 times. So the IDs will be auto generated. And whenever you are adding the parking lot ID, you specify it from there that here's the ID that I got from whenever I created the parking lot, add it over there. So those everything I will be covering, I will be showcasing those. But as of now, you get my idea. What am I trying to say? So for the CRUD operations, there will be a single create option that is for parking lot. And whenever the parking lot is being created, it's like updating or it's like creating the parking spots. Okay, got my point. Next thing is that update for updating the parking lot. Okay, wait 1 second. That is for the create operation. Did you get my point? Who was that? Sneha, did you get my idea? What am I saying? It's again, it's up to you. It's not that, yes, you have to follow this. Huh. Next thing is the update wala thing and even delete. You can see what it is being said. There was something over here. Okay. It was mentioned over here. That is, admin can edit, delete any number of parking lots. Admin can increase or decrease the number of parking spots inside a parking lot. For example, I have created the Taramani wala parking lot, right? And I have specified that there are 10 parking spots. Now, I have done that, but as of now, I have managed to get some more space. Okay, and I'm planning to add 6 more parking lots. Okay, in that case, you won't be doing something like, yes, I could remove this older copy and I will add another one. Why? No, right? You can update it that yes, I have 10 parking lots, parking spots, and now I am adding 6 more. Okay, that is possible. So in the CRUD operation, from the CRUD operations, you will be using the update wala idea, and you will be updating the parking lot. Right. In that case, the same idea would be implemented using a for loop. We'll be creating the parking spots, and the ID will be associated with those parking spots. Now, what if you want to decrease the parking lot and parking spots? Now, here are some more validations that you have to do. You can use the update option that yes, I am having 10 parking spots as of now. I will be decreasing it to 8. Okay, removing 2 parking lot spots. That is possible. Now, you have to do something. That is, you are having 10 spots. What if 10 cars are parked in all 10 and all 10 are occupied? In that case, sorry, guys. Very sorry. In that case, you cannot like decrease the number of spots. Right? Rather, what you have to do, firstly, make any 2 of the parking spots empty. Then only you can remove those. Remove those as in update it so that it could be decreased. Okay, so that's a validation that you have to do. Even the same kind of validation is needed for delete. For example, I want to like I'm planning that I won't be doing any more operations on, or I won't be continuing the Taramani wala parking lot. So in that case, either I can disable it, disable that parking lot, else I can remove it totally from my database. Okay. In both the conditions, what I have to do, it cannot be something like, yeah, a single, like all the spots are occupied, or at least a single spot is occupied, and the rest of the uh, like the rest of the spots are empty. But it cannot be like I cannot. There could not be something like I disable it. So where will the that single car or all the cars that are parked in my parking lot will go? Is it unmanaged? No, right? It cannot be something like that. So what you have to do, you have to validate before you are deleting or disabling the parking lot. You have to check if all the parking spots are empty. If your parking lot is totally empty, in that case only you can delete or disable it. Right? This kind of similar kind of validations you have to do. Next thing, so what are they saying? Open can each and spots, everything is allowed. I talked about that. Admin can view status of parking spot and check the park vehicle details if the parking spot is occupied. Okay. Now, admin is the super user for your app. Okay. So admin can monitor everything, be it the registered users, be it the status of the parking lot, status of a specific parking spot, or any other detail. Right. Everything you need to show it in a admin dashboard. Next thing, admin can register, view all registers, etc. Lastly, admin can view the summary chart for parking lot or spots. Okay. So basically, you just need to showcase some analytics on your dashboard, admin dashboard. You can like build some charts. Can we buy anything if you like considering you should or you might have seen the uh, you might be doing or did or will be doing the MLP course, right? In that case, or you might have seen in some other course, there are some libraries, Python libraries that is pandas, matplotlib, cbot, plotly. There are multiple libraries to design or to draw the charts. You can use it to add a chart or one or two charts for admin through the analytics, right? And attach it to the admin dashboard. You can use chart.js. Any library is allowed for creating the chart, so it's totally fine. Next comes the user dashboard. Here are some more validations that I can talk about. That is, user can choose an available parking lot, and allocation is done as per the first available parking spot. So what it is trying to convey over here is that consider the same scenario. I am having a parking lot. Okay. Now, for example, Sneha is trying to book a parking spot at that parking lot. Okay, she wants to park her car. Now, she would be seeing that Taramani, like she would be choosing the Taramani Wala parking lot. And what would be an expected thing by Sneha? That is, after she has selected that Taramani Wala parking lot, next thing, what is to be done or what she wants to do is as fast as he could book a parking spot, right? With the least number of clicks or taps he wants to do it. That is what a preferred, or that is the most preferred thing that you or that a user wants to do. Less work, right? So what am I saying? Even the condition also states that a user, for example, currently Sneha cannot book a specific spot. It cannot be something like, yeah, it's nearer to the gate, so she wants that parking spot. That is not like that. Rather, Sneha has to like consider the scenario that she wants to book a spot. And whatever spot that is available from your side, however, or whatever policy that you are using, you would be like allocating a spot. Like Sneha cannot choose it by herself. Okay, so that's the thing. Now, what you want to do? You want to validate some of the things. If parking spot is available at all, okay, then only I will be showing that option that yes, book a spot. Else, I will be checking if something other like what are the validations you do. At least for the booking, that is or single validation that you can do. Oh, okay. There is some more validation. That is if the parking spot is live. Okay. Something like that. If you want to implement that, if the parking spot is working right now, if that is working, then you are checking if the spot is empty, if any spot is empty, right? Those kind of validations. Right? And you can think of something more that is also fine. The user changes the status from the part of the parking spot to occupied once the vehicle is parked. Okay. So for continuing with that same example, whenever Sneha taps on that book wala parking spot, what is happening? Whatever spot that is being allocated to her by your policy, you are changing the status of that specific parking spot from free to occupied, right? And it is done as per like it's done from the backend. Sneha doesn't have to do any more thing. She just wants to click on a button and it would be done, right? The same, the next point, the similar next point could be release. She has parked her car. She has been to the class. Now she is going back to her home. She comes to the parking lot. She sits in her car, and now she's now what is expected from that she just wants to click that yes, I'm taking out my card. She presses the button or taps on the button and it's done. Now she can move out. In that case, what you have to do, you have to change the status of that specific spot to empty or free. Okay. Now here's another thing. There was a price element, right? Over here you can see they have specified it over here. That is each parking lot can have a different price. Okay. The same thing should have been calculated, or whatever policy that you want to implement. That if you want to give first half an hour free, then next 5 hours to be uh, 60 per hour, then there is 120 per hour, or however you want to decide the price, or at least a flat price. That yes, everyone for each hour there is 150. Okay, so however you want to decide. Like, like that is to be calculated by the timestamp. Again, how the timestamp will be like recorded? That is, whenever Sneha clicks on that link, a parking spot is allocated to her. At the same time, you should like um, record the timestamp. Okay. Next thing is that whenever she is back to her car and she's taking out the car, she will be clicking on the release button. The same, in the similar manner or similar idea, the release timestamp will be again be recorded. Okay. Now from those two, you can like take out the difference and find out what was the time period she used the spot and bill her. Right. So at least for the user, it's very easy. Just one tap and it's done. Right. Next thing, so they're saying that show some summary chat for her parking. Okay, so as in the user analytics, okay, you can check out like how many times is using our services, what are the how much did she pay and stuff. Some chat, some analytics. Next thing is, acha, those will be the basic core CRUD operations. If you want, you can add multiple other as per your app, how you are designing your app. It's totally fine. If you want to add more functionalities to the app, that is also allowed. That is also fine. But at least this three or two specifically CRUD operations you have to build. Next thing is about the database. At least for your MAD one project, you like I'm not sure starting this term or previous terms, but it was allowed, at least for the Mat1 project, that you can use DB browser or SQLite browser. That is the GUI for SQLite, right? You can like use those to design and build the database. Right now, what they have specified that you cannot use it as of now. Rather, what you have to do is you have to either you can use SQLite terminal or you can use the model to build the database. Okay. What I am saying is that stick to the model based in uh, stick to the model based approach where you will be like specifying or connecting. Go back into the front end, right? You, if you remember, those are the model DB models that you define the class for each table, right? You design those, and that will be back propagated into a database file. That's very easy, and it's less work. If you are still using the SQLite terminal, you have to write everything down for each table. There could be columns, and for each column there could be attributes. So why to write it twice? If you have to write it once on the terminal, then once on the model. Work. Why to do more work? Then there's the backend job and the caching part. Okay. For the backend job could be divided into two parts. One is scheduled job, another one is user triggered jobs. Okay. From the scheduled jobs, there could be it could be more further divided into two. That is, one is daily reminder, another one is monthly activity report. What is daily reminder? Daily reminder is specifically basically notifications that you get. Right. For example, if you are using Zomato or Swiggy or app, other app, what if you see that uh, at a specific time of the day they send you what push notifications. For example, you can see something like something around 9 a.m. They send you a notification regarding breakfast. Right? Something around starting right now. You might see it on your phone that you might be getting notifications for lunch, right? At the time or something around 8 p.m. or something, you'll be getting notifications regarding dinner. What are they trying to do? They're trying to capture, they're trying to bring the users to onto their platform so that they can get some business, right? The same idea or approach is being expected from the daily reminder that whatever user that you have in your app, you are sending them daily reminders, right? There is three options that are provided to you for sending the daily reminder. One is use Google Chat. For Google Chat, you can use webhook, or there is SMS, or there is email. Okay. One suggestion over here, again, that's a personal suggestion, nothing official. That is, stick to either webhook or email. SMS, you can go for it, but it's what I know is it's a paid service. Okay. So if you want, you can use it. Else, stick to this too. Okay. Even sticking for this too, as in, sorry, I'm taking a detour. That is, for monthly report, you have to send a mail, right? The same mail is being implemented over here. If you want, like if you are facing that you don't have much time to implement webhook, you can go for mail for both monthly and daily reminder. Else, you can go for webhook. Again, I will be like summarizing both by using I'll be showcasing both by using email. Webhooks were discussed in the theory course. Please refer to that segment. Even they are using Google Chat webhooks, so we can like use the same idea over here to the same code, same logic. Implement that. Next thing is to how to send the daily reminder. Okay, there is one condition that is given, that check if a user has visited your app or not. Okay, it is something like whenever a user logs onto your app, we will be tracking the user login and stuff. Okay, we'll be tracking those and we'll be maintaining the timestamp and stuff. From that, we can verify if a user is visited or not. You might be seeing or you might be getting some email or something or notification that from any app that you are using that we haven't seen you in a long time or something like that. They're using the same implementation. That they are checking what was the last time you logged onto their platform. It cannot be something like you visited the home page and they will be tracking it from there. No, that's not a condition. That's an overwork to do. Rather, they will be maintaining whenever the last time you logged into their platform. Okay. From there, they can verify it. There can be a threshold limit. That, for example, we set a threshold limit over here for 24 hours. If a user, for example, Sneha haven't visited our website in the last 24 hours, for example, today is Wednesday. She thought to take a day off and she last visited the campus on Monday. Okay, so she haven't visited since Monday. What was the last login time? It could be something like whenever she was taking the car out. It is something around 5 p.m. Monday. Now, whenever, for example, I send the daily reminder every day at 7 p.m. Okay, and I have set the conditions that I'm checking if the user has visited our app in the past 24 hours or not. Okay, so if I am sending a reminder on Tuesday 7 p.m., I'd be checking if the user has visited us since Monday 7 p.m. till Tuesday 7 p.m. If not, we'll be sending a reminder. Okay. Now, as Sneha has take, took her car out by 5 p.m., so it's more than 24 hour. Right? The last login was at 5 p.m. or something. Now, that condition will become true for her, and we'll be sending a reminder that Sneha, please visit our like please use our app for park to park your car. Okay. Again, that's a dumb thing to do. But yes, we will be doing that to attract our customer. Why am I saying a dumb thing? That is because Sneha took a day off and she didn't visit the uh, campus. But as for our app, we won't be checking or not be judging that. Rather, we will be like sending out reminders. Like you will be facing the same situation over there. That, for example, if you are using Uber or something, Uber or Rapido, you will be getting daily reminders for n number of times. Like for example, right now, the quick commerce app, it could be Blinkit, Zepto, Big Basket, or anything, or Swiggy, Instamart, or something. They are flooding, like it's a personal situation that I am getting n number of notifications on a daily basis, right? And I might feel irritated, but they want to irritate me. That is because they want the customer. Okay, so the same idea is also implemented over here. That is, she didn't visit us, but we are sending the reminder. She might feel that to be an overdue, but what will she observe in the back of the mind? Like, okay, this is not a business class, but I don't know why I am saying that. But yes, we will be seeing that notification, and she will, in the back of the mind, she will know that yes, she wants to visit the parking lot that is provided by me. Okay, something like that. Anyways, let's move on. So parking lot is again what kind of reminder again she can get, or at least you can decide on any. That is, I create a new parking lot at Vellacheri. Okay. Now she might think that yeah, I come from Kindi, so I can take that route and I can keep my car at Vellacheri. It would be less travel for me. Okay. In that case, she can get a reminder that yes, a newer parking lot is being created. The daily reminder all about. Anyways, I talked a lot from daily reminder. I don't know why, but now here comes the day monthly activity report. Something like Sneha gets that yes, uh, in the last month of June, how many times we parked her car into our parking lots? Where did she park? how much did you spend, a total report. Okay. In a HTML format, we'll be attaching it to the email and sending it back. Okay. Else, we can have it as a PDF and attach it to the email and send it back to the user. That is Sneha. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This one will be running every day, and this one will be running a single day each month. It can be any day. Okay. Next thing is this user triggered as a job. Okay. This is something like similar to the other one. That is this one. Over here, what they want is a device a CSV format detail for the parking spots used by the user till date. Okay. In a similar idea, a report kind of a thing, but in a CSV format. For example, for the monthly report, what are we doing? For the month of June, we are only creating a, or we are uh, like, what was the word? I forgot. Basically, we are compiling the details from our database, adding it to a HTML format or a PDF format, and sending it back to the user. In a similar idea, in this user triggered async job, what you have to do is for the lifetime till date. Okay. Whenever Sneha has registered with us, for example, Sneha is in the first year and she like in the second year and she has registered with our app past year, that is 2024. Starting 2024 July, she is using our facility. Okay. So if she clicks on this button, okay, a job will be triggered. Previously, the jobs are auto scheduled or auto triggered. Right now, if Sneha clicks on a button that is provided to her on the dashboard, a job will be triggered. And what that job will do is it will query the database, sort all the details about Sneha, and it will be added to a CSV format and sent it back to the user. Now, here's the thing. Here's one more thing. That is, you may say that I can build it with an API. Why to use a salary class? I would give an example of a OTP. What is being done in case of a OTP? Right. It's like it's whenever you are logging into a website, you might give the credentials. Then you might be asked that yes, on the registered mobile number, you'll be getting the OTP. Please share the OTP with us. Right. Now, it might not be the condition that yes, you are getting the OTP instantaneously. Okay. Considering a scenario that uh, a huge traffic is on the website. Okay. And also at the same time, telecom sector will be transferring the OTP instantaneously. Right. Whenever a request is being made from the backend will contact the telecom operator and the OTP will be shared to you instantaneously. That doesn't take a time. Considering an example. Okay. Now here's the thing. There's a huge lot of traffic on the app. Okay. And my backend can handle 500 requests, 500 OTP requests at a time, okay, each minute. Right. Now, at that point of time, I am having or facilitating 2000 users. Okay. 4 times the one that I can handle each minute. And everyone is requesting an OTP. So it cannot be something like the first 500 got the OTP and the next 1500 is waiting for or getting an error that yes, you cannot like get an OTP. Right? Rather, what you be seeing on the screen that all 2000 people will be shown that yes, you OTP is sent out and you'll be getting that in a moment. Please share it out. Okay. And in the OTP message, what we will be getting is that you'll be getting the OTP message and there is a expiry that it is valid for next 5 minutes or something. That is all handled by this user triggered async job. You won't be like having a condition this yes just to create the OTPs and share it with the users. you are using the total resource of your backend. Rather, what you want to do, you want to queue it up. At least for the first 1 minute, you will be like handling the first 500 people. Then for the next 1 minute, the next batch, then the third batch, then the fourth batch. It will take you 4 minutes. You won't be like stressing out the backend server, or at least the like, disabling the API services for your backend server. Rather, what you want to do, you want to use the Celery to handle that. That is, it will maintain a queue, and as per the queue, it will be the OTPs will be shared out. The same idea is implemented over here. That if you are considering, it's not a large scale app as of now, or the one that we are discussing as of now. But what if there's a huge CSV? Do you want to like make the API wait for it? Wait for the completion. What if it is taking me 5 minutes or something? Will that API will be waiting for Sneha? Won't it be going for Somojit's requests? So Somojit's request. Like it cannot be something like that. The Somojit wants to see that yes, there's a blank screen or something or some error that it's you have to wait for 5 minutes, then come after 5 minutes. Nothing like that. No. So the user doesn't want to see that. In that case, this jobs will be handled. So it is taking 5 minutes, right? Sneha clicked on the button. A request is a job has been made and the job has been processed. But it is taking 5 minutes. Now somebody comes and clicks on the same button, like same button as in for him. And but the principle is same, right? Again, the CSV for Somojit needs to be made. But what Somojit will see that yes, the CSV file will be shared in a moment. And what is happening? Again, another task has been queued over there. That after Sneha's CSV is being made, has been made. Next thing is we have to build Somojit's CSV. Somojit's CSV. Yeah, getting my point. Getting the idea why we are using attribute. So I know like it's nothing to explain it over here. Rather, it is more like a technical boot camp, but you have got my point. What am I trying to explain? So that those are the jobs. Last thing is caching. Caching in a similar idea. Why to cache is that to stress less the backend server. Okay. For example, if you are expecting that a single API will be handling same data or serving the same data for all users, in that case, you can cache it. For example, what am I saying is that uh, a home page. Right? For example, I update my home page with the current status, hourly status. Okay, how many parking spots are available in total Chennai. Okay, it's an hourly thing. So for each hour, it won't be updating. For example, right now it's 11:45 or 46, right? Whatever that was updated by 11 a.m., it won't be changed by like what I have done is I will be changing it by 12. Okay, before 12. So whatever request that is coming in within that time frame, that is starting from 11 a.m. till 11:59, they will be getting the same data. Okay. So why to use the resource? Why to use the backend resource and send a request like to the backend? Backend will query the database and share the same thing, right? Rather, what we can do whenever a request is made after 11, the first request, at that time it will go ahead and check how many parking spots are available and return back. Okay. Now starting from that till 11:59, whatever second, third, or n number of requests comes in, I won't be using my backend resource or sending a request or querying the database. Rather, what I will do is I have already cached the data that yes, I have made a copy for the response and stored it somewhere in the cache memory. That yes, this is the data for next, that is 11, till 11:55. You use this. Okay, that's an idea. So it makes our like if we do not have to send a request back to the if I do not have to process the data, I do not have to query the database. So it's like time saving, right? At least in terms of this scale, that won't be a huge time saver. But if you are going large scale, in that case, you will see a drastic change of time saving. So yeah, that's guessing. Anything more is the recommended and optional functionalities. I won't be doing that. And evaluation part we can like discuss in the last day. Apart from that, you can like that's the that is parking app punch statement. And if you go very quickly with the quiz master, the frameworks are same. That's a multi-user app. Again, there is admin and normal user. You can check that out. And the terminologies, but there is something more that is in the quiz app. You have to build it a bit more. Basically, there are some extra data fields that you have to handle. But in terms of difficulty, it's same. Their subject, their chapter, quiz, questions. That is, consider the hierarchy. Starts with the subject, and for each subject there are n number of chapters, and for each chapter there are n number of quizzes, and for each quiz there are n number of questions. And score is different. Score is totally different. It's not that hierarchy. There's the wireframe, core functionalities, admin login is again same. This functionality is same. This two are basically the admin's operations that he has to do, basically the CRUD operations. Next thing is the user dashboard. Okay. And finally the backend job and caching. You can go through it. If you face any difficulty, I can like you can ask me. If you are building on this, you can discuss it out. And finally, there is one problem statement that is this one, process to V2. It's basically a guiding problem statement for our bootcamp. I will be loosely following it, and whatever code that I do will be majorly will be sticking and like I'll be keeping it generic. Okay. But still, as I have to get an idea, I will be using this problem statement. I can share it with you guys over here. You can go and refer to it. It's there. Again, this problem statement has more work to do. 3 users, multiple operations, so many things to handle. So these 2 projects, that is the parking app and the what was the quiz app, those are less work. So to worry. So if you want to ask anything, you can like take it up. It's already over the time. We are already running. It's very late today, but I really want to cover something more. If you can give me 10-15 minutes more, I will be happy to show you guys and very basic command one companies. If everyone is free for next 15 minutes.
Yes, we can continue.
Yeah, sure. Nice. Thanks. If you want to ask anything from the problem statements, you can go for it. Else we'll be starting off. So if I want to revise the concepts from manually, because I have done it last time. Okay. Do one thing. There's nothing to revise. Okay. And there's one saying that one of my even he was one of my I can say it on the recording. I can say it on the record. One of my mentee. He was I guess in the last year boot camp, like there was the September term. Okay. and he is a very experienced working professional. He told me something that was, and he has a huge, you know, like amount of experience. Okay, he said something, the same thing I'm saying it over here. That is, he was like, we were talking about an interview, and I was like, talking like, so it was a newer field. So I thought of like, I said to him that yes, like I was very frank to him that I need to learn something more so that I can go for the interview. And he said to me one thing, at least for the coding part, okay, you cannot you cannot be like cannot finish. For example, if you are on class, you cannot say that yes, I have conquered everything. I know Flask from beginning to end. That's not possible because Flask is updating itself every time, every day. Okay. So what am I trying to say over here is that do not you do not have to revise anything. Just go to the battlefield, start working over there, start fighting. You will learn whenever you are coding. Whenever you start coding, no, you will learn the things. It might feel that yes, where to start, where not to start. For that, you can refer to this boot camp. Okay, at least start off. Okay, do not have to revise anything, not at all. What what I have seen, like I built my project in 2022, I guess. At that time too, I have felt the same thing. But what I have done is that I jumped off starting with coding. Okay. The same suggestion is for you too. Jump off. No worries. You can like start working on your project. And at least for revise this is okay. I guess this boot camp will be fine. I hope. Okay. So I'll be using VS Code, right? You can use any ID for the timing. And from VS Code even, as I was talking about the WSL thing, no, I'll be using WSL. You can use anything. That is also fine. If you are preferring for WSL, you can like open your VS Code totally from the WSL perspective. For that, you can like open a remote window, like select that button and click on there. If you have configured WSL, but you are configuring WSL for the first time, that will be an intuitive process. Follow the instructions, and you will be done. Okay. Next thing is that I'll be, as I said, that I'll be sharing the code on a GitHub repository. The repository link is this one. Please follow that. This is the repository that you can follow. Okay. There is one more thing that I want to specify. That is, I'll be using a base directory, right? Base location for my project. You all should be using the same thing. Like you should be having a base directory. In that base directory, it's not created yet. I will create it on the right now. You will see it on my screen. My computer is a bit laggy. Now, I created a base directory. I will open the base directory. Um, okay. The same idea is also implemented for your Windows operations too. You have to open a base directory and start working. Next thing is that what am I saying? In this base directory, you can have two directories and however you want to structure your app. But what I will be doing, I will be for each day, I will be creating a subdirectory. Starting today, something like day0. And whatever code that I do, I will do it in day0. And it will be that format. Like I won't be touching it anymore. Like for example, if we are having a session tomorrow, in that case, I won't be touching day 0, but I'll be creating a copy for day 0 and we'll be modifying it into day 1. Okay. So, so it's an version control, but again, I could have used GitHub, but I'm sticking to the I way to that is day 0. Something more? Yes, that is use of virtual environment. Okay, if you want, and I would suggest please use virtual environment. It's a good practice to follow. Okay, so how can you do it? Is starting off with a virtual environment. If you want to use it, that is Python 3 minus m env, and then you have to write the name for the virtual environment. With this command, you can create a virtual environment. Right? What is a virtual environment benefits? I can talk it for next 5 minutes, but let's not waste it. You can like do a quick Google search or use AI to search for it, and it will be done. So yeah, see, I have created the virtual environment, right? In day 0, let me create a file app.py. It's a Python file. Now, if I would have opened it previously, then I would have got a pop-up over here, but I have. Okay, do one thing. Let's do it in that way. Let me remove the virtual environment. Okay, right? Start it in this way so that I can show you the pop-up, nothing else. I'm creating a virtual environment over here. And I didn't open it. Anyways. So basically over here, you will be seeing the Python version, right? Click on it. And you might see this recommended wala thing. That is your virtual environment. You can see it over there. You can specify, you can verify whatever the base directory. Then I have this .venv wala directory, then bin, then Python. You click on it. So what VS Code will do, whenever the next time you open your terminal, for example, kill this one and press control comma, sorry, control dot like this. No, what was that? Over the command. Control shift back tilde. Or basically you can go from here. Open a new terminal. It will be like the virtual environment will be pre-activated. Okay, so you do not have to stay in the global environment. Else, if you want to do it manually, that is also possible. For example, okay, let me show you that. If you want to deactivate a terminal, you just need deactivate a virtual environment. Deactivate the virtual environment on the terminal. You just need to write deactivate, hit the run command, and it's done. It's now again shifted to the global environment. I can do something like quick freeze. I will show you that. I have the command which byte. Oh, the terminal is still in that. Okay, it's the integrated terminal, right? Okay, that's a VS Code integrated terminal. As of now, it's like I have selected the interpreter to be the virtual environment, so that's why it's like using the uh, virtual environment. But consider that. As of now, I am in here. Like if I do quick freeze, I don't have any library. Right? I forgot I wrote to do this. Okay. Anyways, to activate a virtual environment, what you can do is uh, the command is dot or source dot pnv bin and active. You can use this command to activate a virtual environment. So possible. Even I can show it from here. For example, if I select the global environment and if I open up another terminal, you can see that it's Here, it's not working like that. I can do GIF freeze also. That's a global environment. See, I have a huge number of libraries by the libraries. What am I trying to say? If I want to activate the virtual environment, either I can use .v and ping and activate, and it's there. If I do GIF freeze now, you can see I don't have any library which Python will work for. See, that's a virtual environment. Now, why to use virtual environment? As I said, that please refer to the Google search or other sources, or you will see how beneficial it could be. So as of now, if I want to start off with the uh, basic Mat 1 application, in that case, it's like I need at least two libraries, that is Flask and Flask SQL Alchemy. Right, these two are fine, good enough for me. So what I did is I installed the libraries. It's there in the virtual environment. I can do quick freeze. I can check that. Right now, if you are maintaining or if you are working with a virtual environment, what you have to do or what you should do, I don't say have to, but you should do, is maintain a requirements.txt. How to create that is basically if freeze with a single right words angular bracket, we write requirements.txt. Okay. A file will be created. You update it accordingly. Whenever you add a new library and you sure that you want to keep that library, update. Updating is the same command. For example, I add one more library. For example, uh, should have done. Okay, I can show you guys the next thing. As of now, I have done and in app.py very quickly creating a basic class app. Uh, class and that's a simple Flask. This one I can do one thing by an app.py. Okay, if you see, it is not working for me. It won't work for me. That is because I'm not in the correct directory. I'm still in the base directory. I have to cd into Day0. Right. So cd Day0. Then if I run the same command, Python Python app.py, it will start off the server. Hmm. Where is it run? It's over here. Good. So the port was not empty. That's why I was getting that error. It was used by another application. Still a lot of time. Clear it out and try it once more. It usually doesn't take this much time, but the system are a bit lagging. It is. It was It is taking a lot. What does happen? There is some a quick check. Can you hear me if I'm audible? Can you confirm me? My computer just froze.
Yep, we can hear you.
Try. I have to close my place, but I'm not gonna talk about it. Sorry for the delay, guys. Closing the session as fast as I still not. Really have to do some management so that it's, let's see if it is done within next 1 minute. If I can run it within next 1 minute, then I will proceed with VS Code or else I shift or the clip for today at least. Yeah, it's working. So perfect. So that's a very basic class application, right? Class of next thing what I want to do is, for example, if I create a endpoint, fine, and what it does is return a string. What this will if I restart it and if I give it a check, a try, and see that it would show me hello world. It would determine a string, right? In a similar idea, what we used to do is we used to create a template. Direction. The template direction I can create and the HTML or something like that. First page. Save this one. Lower the define one more endpoint. It is at the optional about define about, and we are rendering out the about HTML. Stop. If I give it a try, uh, you can see we are seeing this page. Basically, we are seeing the HTML page, right? Now, what if I want to modify it? I want to do something like what another endpoint, something like this. Just about one. And in here, what I want to do after about one, there could be something like a variable name. Right? Name is passed over here. There too. And plus name. In here, I can capture that. Welcome. I can use Ginger, right? So name. Then I'll be showcasing the name. You don't fork over the change of the system. It should have, let's see. Else I would be using ah, which I let's give it a try, and for that I need to restart the server. And if I go to about and send a request, so this is that page. And if I go about and slash my name, you see, it comes to the first page. These are the stuff that you are doing. I don't have any more time to showcase SQL Alchemy over here, but like basically you are getting my point or getting my idea where what we used to do. Next day, whenever is the session, be it tomorrow, be it the day after tomorrow, we'll be like starting off with our backend and we'll be like integrating SQL. Till today, this is whatever code is. Else, what I can do, I can update, like use next 5-10 minutes by myself and uh, create a very simple or whatever functionalities that I want to keep. For Mad1 application, I will add it over here and update it in the GitHub repository. So you can have a look. Okay. And I'm publishing the GitHub repository. Let me click public. And it's live now. Check that out. Okay. I'll be updating the YouTube playlist and share it with them in the G space. Okay, if you want to ask anything, you can ask. Else, we'll be like calling it a day. It's already the time is already over. Extended it a lot. Thanks for holding up.
Thank you. Thank you for today.
Thanks. Like it depends. Not on a daily basis. Also, did I say anything about the time before anyone leaves? That 9 a.m. wala thing. Do consider that 9 or 8 a.m.
Yes, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is good. Yeah.
So let's call it a day. Not sharing anything.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.